We're going to talk with the mayor of Ilion in just a few minutes on the latest boil water order. There have been several over, it seems like, what did Ron and Ellie say yesterday? It seems like we're getting one of these every other week now.
Yeah,
from the village.
This is the third one I can remember, I think, in a month and a half, yeah.
Some news that has really just kind of fallen by the wayside because of what's going on in Dallas. I want to throw these things at you. You know, the Hillary Clinton email probe from the State Department, that investigation is back on. And I think it was Tanya J. Powers or Rachel Sutherland, one or the other, that told us that's basically something that was expected. When the FBI got involved, they backed off, and now they've just restarted that investigation, so it really doesn't mean much. If you're watching what's going on in Dallas, the mayor there, Mike Rawlings, is a graduate of Liverpool High School. He grew up here in the Syracuse area and is a local guy. You'll see a lot of him over the course of the next 24, 48 hours down there in Dallas. There's news on Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills, former quarterback, legendary Jim Kelly. You know he had cancer. There's been a recent test, and he had been cancer-free for more than 18 months. The latest report says he's gained 30 pounds, and the latest test says that he is remaining cancer-free.
You made me nervous.
That's a big deal, right?
That's great. That's really great to hear that.
And then I've got other things that we will get into, like the ash borer. The DEC says the ash borer is in Oneida County. I've been complaining that my trees are dying for 5 years. Nobody will pay attention. That's in the valley. That's in Herkimer County. I have at least a dozen ash trees that are dead, and they went in like 2 or 3 years. They went fast. How long have I been? Since I've been here, I've been complaining about this.
Yeah, and
we had the DEC on. We had somebody on. Mm-hmm. They didn't seem impressed. Well, now they're coming out and saying, "Well, we've discovered it in Oneida County." That's like me going to Massachusetts going somewhere and saying I've discovered America. What the hell?
It's not quite like that, but I do remember this, that you were concerned about your trees dying in the back. You had someone from DEC come, and I'll remember this for a long time. It was a funny moment on the show. You were like, the guy stood there and he went, yeah, and wouldn't he spit and chew or something?
Yeah.
And he said, yep, you got the ash borer. Those trees are going to die. And that was it.
I knew that, and so I said, what can I do? And he said, I don't know. I don't think there's much you're going to be able to do. Okay, I don't know if I got some imposter that was coming from the Humane Society or something. The DEC guy was like off or something, so they sent this guy. I don't know, but I reported this 5 years ago, and nobody paid attention. And now we're making big news out of it. They've discovered it in Rome. The mayor of Ilion is on the line right now, Terry Leonard. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
So I know this is not a call you want to be doing right now.
We need to share the information.
So what is happening? It seems like, as Jim Rondinelli in our news department yesterday when he got the notice said, boy, it seems like this is just every other week we're getting another notice from Ilion. So what is happening?
Well, it happened in early June, and now it's happened again. We about 2 years ago, we started down the road to the Department of Health indicated we needed to do more filtration of the water coming off of our reservoir. So we spent a good deal of money installing an ultraviolet system that kills off some of the bacteria that other processes don't get.
Sure.
Well, the ultraviolet system, we had a power surge and then a dip in power in the village early June, and that affected the electronic circuitry up at this ultraviolet unit, totally burned out that unit, so that time we were out for 7 days.
Yeah.
We had the people who produce the UV equipment in town just this week. They gave us some advice to our local electric department on how to stabilize the power supply to that unit. And my understanding is our village crews were doing some work up there yesterday afternoon. I understand when they shut the system down to make the repairs, tried to come back up, the unit would not start.
Mm.
That was, we were making changes that were recommended. The unit did not restart. Now, as soon as that unit goes down, we have to notify the Department of Health.
Got it. Okay.
And then it's a mandatory boil water. Now, since then, village employees have been on the phone making all the phone contacts we need to make. There's a number of people in the village on the emergency call list because of medical equipment at home, so we contact all those folks. The word on the repairs is that as of 5 last evening, the parts were being shipped out, and the technician was on his way in. Both are supposed to arrive today. So
then after, if let's say the replacement is done today, and the ultraviolet system is back up and working, right, you still then have to send samples out, right, to the state.
We have to let the system run for a while. Then we take samples, get them to the labs in Verona, and then back to the Department of Health for clearance. So this is going to be at least through the weekend. One of the differences that from the way we handled it in early June is this morning I am going to try to contact someone about getting a tank of drinkable water available in the village so that folks don't have to buy all of the bottled water. So
well, I had heard one woman complaining recently about the money that she spent on bottled water, and it does become a problem because technically you're not supposed to. You can't brush your teeth. You can't. You can bathe in it, right? Is that all right?
Washing clothes, bathing, cooking with boiled water is fine. Washing your teeth, it's okay to rinse but not swallow.
Okay.
And there's a fine line there. But But yeah, I mean, and we do. The last time this happened, we kept hearing, well, it's going to be up. So I delayed the decision to have a tanker of water brought in, but. I'm going to try to arrange that as early as today. So
one of the attributes and one of the reasons that I think Ilion has become such an area that people like to live in and a desirable area is the fact that you have municipal power. That's a big plus, and your water has been something that has been really something that's been touted over the years.
It's been top of the line water clarity and cleanliness for many, many years. So this is a bad stretch we're going through right now. We need to get the bugs out of it. But the village is working as hard as we can to get this back going. It's an inconvenience. I understand the inconvenience to everyone, and we want to get it up and running as quickly as we can. But we do need now the sideline of this is a year or so ago this wouldn't have been a problem because this is a new regulation of the Department of Health. And it's attacking a particular organism that for many, many years was in the water and was never a problem, but regulations changed. So we were in a position where we had to install this new equipment, and now when the equipment goes down, we're in the boil water.
So what is the organism, and what does the
I'm
state...
not a chemist, Bill.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a particular name for it, for what this is. Ultraviolet is axon, but the chlorine in the water does not attack it. I'm at a loss right now for what the term is. But
is there? Can you tell us anything of what that can cause if consumed?
Again, I'm really not up on that.
Yeah. But it seems like
what I will do is contact the Department of Health and get more information about what the effects would be, and exactly what the organism is that it's. I have this all on my desk in my office, but I'm at home right now. So.
Right.
Mayor, and did you just say, had this happened maybe a year or two ago, this same circumstance, you wouldn't have had to issue this advisory because the regulations have changed?
That's exactly right. Yeah, this is an organism that's been in the water forever. But
now all of a sudden, they say it's something that's.
Now the DOH has determined it needs to be treated.
Oh, interesting. All right, Greg. By the way, Mayor, if you could, we're on with Mayor Terry Leonard in the village of Ilion. Greg is in Ilion, and he has a question for the mayor. Greg, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor. I've got a quick question. You mentioned about the equipment up there that was expensive equipment, and I'm kind of curious as a resident of the valley and of Ilion, why equipment like that wouldn't be on, for example, a line conditioner, surge units, battery backup. All that type of stuff is basic electronic fail-safes to go and stop something like this from happening.
Yeah. And that's exactly what the fellows were doing yesterday afternoon up on the hill, was installing some of that equipment.
I understand that. That's kind of like hindsight being 20/20, especially when you have a large purchase like that. Mm-hmm. Folks who even have home computers would have a battery backup or even a surge protector or line conditioner, especially given how the electricity here is in the valley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we work on the best advice that we get from the company that provided the equipment. So we're following their lead as to what we need to do to safeguard this.
Well, then I guess maybe I'll offer my services to the village then, and when it comes down to electronic equipment, because that's basic technical things that you do to go through and protect electronic equipment.
Mm-hmm. All right, Greg. So you'll contact the mayor's office then.
Oh, I definitely will.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Greg. And if you could, Mayor Leonard, if you could, I have Chuck, who's a Village of Ilion resident as well, that wants to comment in here, and go ahead, Chuck.
Hey, Bill, I was on the Municipal Utilities Board for 7 years, so I know all about the UV thing. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is Ilion's water is chlorinated before, then it's flow sand filtered, and then it's chlorinated again before it goes in the clear well, which is the holding tank for processed water that we've all drank for years with no problems. The DOH, in their infinite wisdom, created a problem, which they said that the surface water has to be disinfected by UV, which is highly unreliable, which we've already proven, and the fact that we've all drank it for years, never had a problem.
Yeah.
So now when we have a problem with it, that the DOH created, then the Ilion residents have to suffer.
So I hate to say this, and it might be irresponsible, and I apologize if it is. But if you've always been able to drink the water, what bad is going to happen to you if you drink the water right now? I mean, I hate to say this, but
Billy, all the last time the whole boil of water advisory, and I made coffee and everything out of it every single day. Never had a problem. I never had any beaver fever or anything like that.
Okay, Chuck.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. I was on the municipal board when we had to commit to putting the UV system in, and it's just another unintended consequences of liberal think tanks.
Over regulation. All right.
Exactly.
Thanks for your support, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, do you agree with Chuck there?
Was that to me, Bill?
Yeah. Mayor, do you?
Chuck Lester has been a valuable supporter of the village for a long time, and that's exactly where we are. Had it not been for this change in DOH rules, this would not have been an issue. My official stand is the Department of Health issues that they boiled water.
Don't drink the water. I
have to make that the rule of the village. I cannot try to second guess them. But there's a lot of discussion about the need for them.
That is really interesting.
It
so
is.
Officially, don't drink the water. Unofficially, we've been drinking it for years, and it hasn't bothered anybody. Very, very interesting. And again, you wonder why water rates go up, right, Mayor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, to the other caller's comment, we've had the system online for just about a year now, and we've been making these strides over the past year to get these protective policies in place and these surge protectors, but it takes time to get all of this stuff going, and until the problem arises, you don't know that it's a problem, and then you do your best to fix it.
Can I ask you a one personal question?
Sure.
Are you drinking the water?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just checking. I'm just checking. I got to ask that question.
Yeah.
All right, Mayor Leonard, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks for your time, Bill.
We appreciate it. Okay. Quote of the day, though, is from Chuck Lester. I ain't never got any beaver fever from that. I love Chuck. Got a break. Hold on tight. Dallas is in turmoil, and we're going to discuss that with Steve Hauk, a former lieutenant with UPD, law enforcement expert, next on WIBX.